In my not so limited time on the internet, one thing I've realized is that we are way too desensitized to gender-specific slurs and insults. Take a look.
1, 2, 3, mother.
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
We shook on life, motherfucker.
If those videos did not make an alarm go off in your mind, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But before we jump into the video, I would like to give a disclaimer. If you're not mature enough to understand that somebody can have an opinion different than yours, or somebody can like or dislike something or somebody that you dislike or like respectively, and that is not an attack on you, then you're not mature enough to watch any of the videos I'm going to post or I have posted. So please move on with your life and let's save both of us the time and energy that we would otherwise spend arguing with each other. The insults that are supposed to hurt a man are also targeted to the women in his life, his mother, his wife, his sister, his daughter, etc. And we, in our daily lives, use these slurs and insults without even batting an eye to whom it is actually attacking or targeting. Like, it is supposed to hurt a man. And if a man loves these women in his life, then these slurs are supposed to hurt him. But it also is insulting and hurtful to the women it is targeting. Those women did not do anything to deserve the criticism, deserve the insults that these slurs, these insults are projecting on them. And we often use these slurs without even batting an eye to whom it is actually targeting, whom it is actually directed to, like in this comment thread. Now, to summarize what happened in this situation, there was a clip of a K-drama where a woman is being insulted by a man when he calls her a vermin mom. Now, she appropriately puts him in his place. And the comments are supporting the mother, obviously, but one of those comments caught my eyes. So this comment says, if I'm a vermin mom, what is your mom? And anybody who sees this is probably going to think, okay, it is one of those your mama joke. And mostly we would, but I stopped here and I read the replies. So one of the people called this person out, and in response, the person says, oh, is English not your first language? So you don't understand the lingo of the situation. So this is used, this kind of jokes are used as a lingo. And that's what disturbed me. Like whenever I hear these kind of things, there is still an antenna which goes off, but it is a little desensitized. Initially, when I would hear these things when I was a child, they were very disrespectful, insulting, and I would physically feel bad for the people that these things are targeting. And with age, I have realized that many people, even the ones that are supportive of women, not just the misogynistic men and women, but raging feminists, they also support this by saying these are just jokes, we can be bad. And I agree, women are not supposed to be anything that a human cannot be. But here is the thing, if something is ultimately degrading to women, and you love women, you love all the people, because as feminists, we do. That's exactly what we do. We do not discriminate. So if it is targeted, if it is degrading to a particular gender, why wouldn't you reconsider using these as a lingo in your everyday conversation? And if you think I'm making these things up, one of my favorite feminist songwriters have done the same thing. And I understand that these are lingo, these are embedded in our everyday language. But do we ever just stop and reconsider? This is not really insulting to the person I want to insult, or I want to target, or I want to criticize. This is actually also insulting to the person they are related to. Let's take a look at this. I'm not going to expose who this is, but she is one of my favorite feminist songwriters. And she talks about a lot of social issues that we have and talks about social deconstruction overall. This is the caption of one of the videos where she's promoting her new song, talking about the male warriors of red pill guys, or basically the overall ideologies that red pill guys sell, patriarchy. This caption kind of caught my eye because if a feminist songwriter like hers, who is very aware of this social situation, uses them in her everyday life, then obviously there are other people who also do that, who are not raging feminists. With that, you might think that I am putting the emotional load or the mental load of always doing the right thing on women, but I'm not. But here is the thing. If I'm talking to a misogynist person, they already have a wall, and it is very hard to pierce through that wall. But when I'm talking to a feminist who is well aware and is open to new opinions, I would know that at least something is going into the mind. And I'm not saying that you should not do anything bad or you should always be the perfect human being. The load of the emotional load, the mental load of that is always on you. I'm not saying that. What I'm trying to say is that if you do not, as feminists, we do not discriminate against genders or against any other biases, then why not just reconsider these kind of insults or slurs and be like, okay, we do not have to do that. It was a system set by other people, and those other people were patriarchal men who had so much love for each other that they would not even in their wildest dream think of insulting the men to their face, but would legalize killing them, however, by creating wars. Do you really want me to talk logic to these people? Nothing would get through. And that's why I'm making this video appealing to the feminists. And when I say men, I do not mean the good men. None of the people that I know who identify as feminists, who do not identify as feminists, ever talk bad about good men. When I talk about men and the problems of patriarchy, I'm talking about patriarchal men, men who support patriarchy, men who hate women, misogynist men, problematic men, harmful men. Those are the men I'm talking about. So I want to ask a question to my fellow feminists. You're my favorite people on this earth. And to feminist women, why, as women, are we still conforming to patriarchal men's idea of what's cool and what's not? Calling somebody a mother or son of a is cool? Suddenly, growing balls is a lingo for courage, but calling somebody pussy means they are a coward. How does that make sense? Women are very courageous. So how is saying grow some balls to a woman when she doesn't even have that makes any sense? And if you think I'm just overthinking this or I am exaggerating this, just look at this.
Because you're too much of a pussy to accept the fact that you are gay.
So patriarchal, misogynistic men push these ideas of male genitalia being a sign of pride and women genitalia and anything that is women related being cowardly. And we said, yes, that seems great. We can do that. And we started using our own genitalia, our own body parts as an insult to other people. And when somebody calls us out, when somebody confronts us, instead of just sitting there listening to them and trying to reconsider, we go off on them because we think that's an attack on us. We become defensive. It's greater than us as individuals. When this is happening, it is harmful, it is degrading to all women, not just one woman. So somebody who is trying to confront you on these, they are not trying to attack you. They are trying to deconstruct the whole idea that has been created by men, for patriarchal men, for years and years and years. And it became so deep-rooted that even women, raging feminists, are now okay with it. No antenna goes off in most of our minds when we hear these things. And that's what I have a problem with. And I'm again going to say that I am not putting the mental load or the emotional load of always doing the right thing on women. Equality means having equal rights, having equal opportunity. I know doing bad things, breaking rules, make you feel like a badass, make you feel like a human, that you can also make mistakes. But choose your bad things. Choose the bad things you want to do. And choose the ones that are not harmful, that are not derogatory to one gender, especially your own gender. Because everybody else has already taken care of that. Patriarchal men, misogynist men, because there are millions, if not billions, of men who have already taken care of oppressing women part. We do not have to contribute to that. So if breaking rules makes you feel like a badass, if doing bad things, making mistakes makes you feel like a human, you're more than welcome to do those things. I am nobody to allow you. Nobody is nobody to allow you. Just consider once, whom is it actually targeting? Who is going to ultimately pay the cost of this? And if you're okay with that, I don't have anything to say to you, but I don't think the people I'm trying to appeal to, they would be okay with that. And if my words make you uncomfortable, maybe there is something even more disturbing going on in this world that you refuse to look at. Well, maybe it's time you do. And with that being said, I would end this video here. And if you have any opinions that are either aligning with me or different than mine, whatever your opinion is, if you want to express it, comment section is your canvas. But remember to be respectful, not just to me, but to everybody who is in the comment section. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.